Hi again, this is Boo, and I'm back for part two of my favorite ambers and vanillas for this time of year. I have lots of ambers and vanillas, but some of them I wear more in the summertime, so I didn't really pull those out and talk about them much. Um, we're just going to get right into it because we got a lot to cover. So I think we were on number 13, lucky number 13. And this one I've talked about before, so I'm just going to mention it and move on. And this is Dolce Liser by Lara Bellario. This is a spicy ombre nargila. It lasts great, sillage is great, longevity is awesome. It is really lovely. It's a much spicier version of ombre nargila. So that's Dolce Liser by Lara Bellario, and that's number 13. Number 12. This one is, I've talked about before, so I'm just going to mention and move on. This is by Parfum de Empire, and this is Ombre Rousse. Again, a very dry amber, and it reminds me of old makeup in an old wooden drawer. My grandmother had her makeup, the stuff she didn't wear anymore in this old drawer, and I, as a kid, always used to love going through it because she'd let me wear the old makeup. And I remember the way it smelled, and it smelled like the way makeup used to smell, not with the way it does now, but the way it used to smell. I don't know how to describe it. It had this antique-y smell to it. Anyway, I used to play in that drawer all the time, and that's what this reminds me of. So that is number 12, Ombre Rousse by Parfum de Empire. Number 11. This is a lovely one. And this one, again, I compare it to a spicier version of Ombre Nargila. And this is Absolute de Vanille by Les Maisons de la Vanille. And so let me tell you a little bit about it. And these are really affordable too. Now this one, out of most of La Maison de la Vanille, their perfumes, they're really inexpensive. You can get them really cheap. This one is a little more, I think, because it was a little harder to get, or maybe it was a special edition. I don't know. Top notes of vanilla absolute, heart is patchouli, benzoin, opoponax, base is tonka absolute, cistus labdanum, and vanilla absolute. And people say it lasts really well and projects well, and nobody said here that it reminds them of anything. So that is number 11, is Absolute de Vanille by La Maison de la Vanille. Getting into the top 10. So, um, anyway, this one is same kind of bottle as that Minuet Enchanty or whatever of Laura Mercier. I wore it when I was really sick and I couldn't wear it anymore. I got rid of it. I traded it out. It's a lovely fragrance, but I couldn't wear it anymore. It looks just the same, but it's not the same. This is Amber Passion by Laura Mercier, and this is my number 10. It's kind of like Ombra and Ombra by I Coloniale and Amber Absolute. If you mixed it, it's drier than I Coloniale and much moister than Amber Absolute. It really does kind of smell like a mixture between the two. So let me see. Came out in '05. Top notes are labdanum, vanilla, and geranium. Middle notes are amber, tonka, and patchouli. Base notes are sandalwood, musk, and cedar. Yeah, and you do get the woods in this, most definitely. They say it has moderate sillage and it is really long lasting. And I think it has a little better than moderate sillage. I think it's pretty good, and nobody says it reminds them of anything. But it does have that kind of sweet um, bite to it, like Vanilla Fields as well, which I'm sorry, but I love that perfume, and it's a cheapie too. So again, number 10 is Amber Passion by Laura Mercier. Number 9. I only have a little bit of it, but I am so getting a full bottle when this runs out. And this is Mona Diorio, uh, Les Nombres Dior Ambre. And oh, wow. I mentioned, an honorable mention was her Vanille, but the ombre is so much better than the vanilla. And it almost, to me, has when you first spray it on, kind of has a vetiver or something going on there. But then that kind of mellows out and it really becomes a lovely, kind of a vetiver Frappin 1270 kind of a smell to me. Anyway, um, and like I said, I just buying a full bottle of this. It's composed of Atlas cedar, ylang ylang, benzoin, tolu balsam, amber, and vanilla. And nobody has said whether it lasts very long on them or not. I find that most of her fragrances that I've tested out, sillage is pretty good, and projection is pretty good, but they don't last very long. Neither the amber or the vanilla lasted very long for me. Some people say it smells similar to Citizen Queen by Juliette Hezegun. I don't know. So anyway, that is my number 9, Les Nombres Dior Ambre by Mona Diorio. And number 8, I'm not going to talk anything about. Everybody knows it. How's my time doing here? All right. This is Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford, private collection. Vanilla, kind of pipe tobacco smell. Fabulous. Great for layering. That is my number 8. Number 7. It's another one I've talked a lot about, so I'm not going to talk much more about it. It's a sweeter version of Ombre Nargila, and that's Haram by Breakcourt. Love it. Oh, love it. And number 6, I've also talked about, and this is a cheapie, less than $20 to have it shipped to your door. And this is a 3-ouncer, and that's Wicked Wahine by, what is the name of that? Royal Hawaiian. And it is fabulous. You'd think it was an amber or a floral fragrance because of the Wicked Wahine and it being Hawaiian and all of that, but it's not. It's a floral amber, and it's wonderful. Sillage is awesome. Longevity is excellent. Projection is incredible. I can't say enough about this. And this is my number 6. Number 5 is a recent acquisition. I got another split on Facebook, and I'm in love with it. And that's Vanilla 44 by Le Labo. Love it. I do like Rose 31. I think that their fragrances, though, are kind of ironic because Rose 31, I think, has more vetiver in it. And this one, I think, has more rose in it, but what do I know? Oh, it's so good, but it is definitely vanilla as well. And let's see. Came out in 2007. Features mandarin orange, vanilla, gaiac, incense, bergamot, and aldehydes. And it's really surprising how much I like this because I am not crazy about aldehydes for the most part. But I totally love this. Yeah, it is pretty soft. Well, I don't think the projection or the sillage is that soft. It's moderate, but I find that it doesn't last that great. I mean, it's okay. But again, for this expensive a juice, I would think they would make something that would last a little longer and project a little better, but I can't help it. I still am crazy over that. Oh, and that's my number 5, and that's Vanilla 44 by Le Labo. Nobody says it smells similar to anything. No. So I'm going to knock it off here, and we're going to make this a 3-parter, a trilogy, if you will. And I'll go ahead and do my top 4. I don't want to be rushed going through those. And so I'm going to come back for a part 3 on booze, top amber and vanilla fragrances. And I hope you all have a good night.